there is a mind and a consciousness that isn't dependent on time, space, or distance. And I come to that conclusion after a car crash in 1987 when I had a near-death experience. Before that, I was very demanding. I wanted people to achieve, to do their best, and sometimes that causes me to be intolerant. And after this experience, I learned that everyone has his own or her own pulse and steps, and you need to wait people to do what they need to do to understand and perceive the world in their own way. Before that, I thought we all think the same, we all have the same perception, we all regard each other in the same way. After my near-death experience, I completely changed and understood that everybody has their own realization or their own way to understand the world. Christmas 1987, where I was going to have a training in ice hockey early in the morning, and everybody was asleep. And I went to the door, and I was hindered of some imaginary wall. And I tried to, I put my sack down and I said, what is this? And then I used my shoulder to push myself forward through that door. And then I went out on the staircase, and then I heard somebody call my name. And I went back and everybody was asleep. And then I went towards the car and heard my name. And I said, is somebody making a joking with me? And I didn't see anything because it was dark in every window. And then I went to my car and opened it, my name again. And I sat into my car and I drove away. 2 minutes later, I hit a black ice spot, and I drove into the forest down in the ravine. And I remember, oh, this was the dream. So I had a lucid dream about what had happened, what should have happened. And in that lucid dream, I was told not to take blood transfusion, and I was told to diminish painkiller. And when I woke up from, I had fainted in the car. I woke up, I saw the ambulance coming down the ravine, and I understood that there was very limited time for me to survive, because the blood, I had inner organ that was crushed, so the blood was pouring out on me. And when my wife then turned up at hospital, I had no voice, so I whispered to her, no plasma, no transfusion. And then the doctor said, then we have to hurry. And I didn't get plasma. And eventually, some weeks or a month later, this plasma was detected to be infected with hepatitis. So it was very good for me not to take that, since I also have hemochromatosis, that is a inherited blood disease which infects kidney and liver. Under this anesthetic situation, I had my near-death experience, and that was so, I can't tell how long it was, because it could have been a glimpse of a second, and it could have been during all the surgery. I don't know. So in short, what this car crash and near-death experience did to me, it opened all my transpersonal abilities that you can name any, and I have had them. And so I also have precognition. I can sense people close to me sometimes what happens to them. You know, today I understand that everything happens, you can use it for a reason. Good or bad, you can use it for a reason. And for me, that worst thing that could have happened turned out to be the best. You have heard it before, but it is a true fact. And what I think today is that you can use anything that happens to you and transform it into something that you can actually use for a better insight. And sometimes I say the only one who are not to be accused for what happens to them are children. The logical mind has two intelligences, and the first is explorer, the exploring intelligence, and the other that people traditionally call IQ is managing intelligence. The managing intelligence uses the explorer to find out what is outside the world and then to organize the world. And when we are organizing the world in rules and how to put stuff in kitchen and how to order the closet and so forth, or even the society, that is the managing intelligence. This is turning rigid because we want it to be the same thing as we have learned and we are used to. So the exploring intelligence is fading away and makes us not see but what we want to see. Even if we are logical, common sense, we say, well, common sense from what perspective? If the common sense is to change everything, to change how we use fuel and how we eat, and if that is too troublesome, we see the world as we want to see. So it's very difficult. And this managing culture is totally around us. So it slowly changes when we earn money of it. Money talks. It's mostly money who changes the world as it is right now. Then we have the emotional part of this, the emotional brain, because this is how the brain works. There you have the reptile brain. The reptile brain just go for food or enemies or protection or feeding a new breed, taking care of the new breed, spreading his DNA. And that is a total individual. The reptile brain is total individual, just going for its own needs. And then we have the other emotional part in you, which is very simple to portray. If I make a heart, you understand what I mean. That unconditional love is working on several levels in life. A little duck takes care of the small, and a bear takes care of its, you don't call cubs. And we take care of our children as good as we can. And sometimes the unconditional love is turned into demands, not in the animal world, but in our world. It turns into, you must do this and you must do that and you must achieve that. So then we lose the unconditional love and turn it into expectations, and that is disaster for people. Most of us live within the concept of you must achieve this and you must achieve that to be accepted and to be acknowledged and to be appreciated. But the unconditional love doesn't expect anything. It just expects you to be who you are and want you to be happy. That is unconditional love. it needs a completely change because you have the management intelligence and you have the reptile brain. Most of us are back and forward on it. To change this, we have to be exploring and loving. And exploring and loving, that is totally opposite of managing and driving. And that is hard to do. I needed a car crash. If you are connected with the independent consciousness, we are always connected in some form, always. And Larry Dossey, he said one mind. And of course we have always also our unique perception of this common world. So synchronicity to me is the ability to explore and perceive the other one. If you are in the management, then you have always a purpose how to use someone. And if you are in the reptile brain, then you won't see other than somebody you can eat or kill. So then you can walk on the other side of the street and the reptile brain won't see you, even if you are looking beautiful, because they are into, I'm going to eat on that Indian restaurant. But if you are in the independent consciousness, you will walk on the street and you will perceive the other one. Even if you are both accidentally in Hong Kong. You don't know of each other, but you know each other here. And if you are in this independent consciousness, you will perceive each other, you will sense each other. The benefit is that we all will be rich. We all will be sharing each other's possibilities, and we all will be anxious to see each other happy. I want you not to go hungry. I want you to have the best life ever. If we are into the same mind, then we want the best for each other.